Prue, should we go check out a Taurus? Wanna go check out a Taurus? Oh yeah, I think so. I think so. Okay, yeah. I know you get excited when we talk about Tauruses. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're traveling into northeastern Idaho up in the Panhandle to go check out a 90-something Taurus. The ad says it's a 93 SHO, but I can tell from the pictures that it's a 96 to 99 ovoid style Taurus. So should be there in about 15 minutes and we'll check this thing out.
Oh, yep.
Peru, I know we'll be to the Taurus soon. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. We'll be there soon.
Do you want to go see the car? Are you excited to go see the car? Yeah.
So the ad says that, it doesn't say much really, just says that it's a V8 show, another indication that it's a 96 to 99, 95 and earlier were V6s. This is a Yamaha, supposedly Cosworth developed V8. Supposedly it has a bad ignition switch and can't be started. So, of course, it's always buyer beware. So we have no way to start it or test it to know if it runs or the transmission works. So kind of rolling the dice on this one and taking a chance. Ooh, decisions. Just love driving through these rural, small towns. The town really isn't that dirty. That's actually just my windshield, which hasn't been cleaned since,
1969.
Yeah, something like that. Thanks, Kiara.
For my Ford diesel, so I need to put
Gotcha.
about that. Put the fuses back in. I can borrow my brother's car. Dad's like, you should have traded one of your private car. I'm going to go in that car. So what it is now and what it will be.
Try turning to the right, left over here.
Oh yeah, turn it this way.
I know it's getting dark here, but she's on the trailer, ready to make the trip back to Washington. She's a little rough around the edges, but hopefully we can make this thing scream again. All right. So made a quick pit stop here at one of our absolute favorite places. You can see it, the old Melt's Grilled Cheese in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. If you're ever through here, it's a must. Best darn grilled cheese you ever have. So now it's kind of the buyer's remorse time. Let's kind of drink this thing in what we just spent our hard-earned money on. Like the paint touches on the hood. Pretty cool. And actually, body-wise, it's not too bad. Tires are absolutely rotten. I love how it's almost like a joke of how small these spoilers are on the rear of these cars. But can't really see this side out here. It's just too dark. But there is a dent in the rear driver's door there. But as far as body damage, that dent and little rip there, you can't see it really because it's too dark back here. That's about the only real body damage. The ignition switch with the passive anti-theft system is going to be the main thing to try to get this car running, to see once we get it running if it actually will move under its own power. Little crack in the windshield there. Gonna need to find a windshield for it. But it is a black SHO, so most important of all, they just still have that cool V8 sound. All right, a couple days later, back at the ranch. Haven't pulled this off the trailer yet. I'm gonna find a space for it out back so we can start collecting some parts for it. Let's get it moved to the rear pasture here and put it with the others. One thing we're going to need to do is start working on getting some of these pine needles off of it. It was parked under a tree in North Idaho, so the sunroof, of course, was left open, and all kinds of stuff in there. But just to give a quick preview of inside, I think the carpet's pretty moldy, as to be expected. That's probably going to be pretty disgusting. But the seats, actually, the leather is really, really nice. Front seats too. Little wrinklage on the front seat there on the side, but no tears or rips or. So actually, I think the interior on this car is fairly decent. So yeah. Try to get some of these pine needles vacuumed off, get that sunroof closed. We might need battery power to do that. So when's the best time to unload a car on a trailer? When it's absolutely pouring down rain and almost dark. But our snow has gone. We had a massive snowstorm over the weekend. Not massive, I'd say, but everything was covered, and now it's been near record highs for the last couple days in the 50s and pouring down rain, and all the snow is gone. But what we're going to try to do now is see if we can get this thing buried in the mud, trying to get this car off the trailer, because we're going this weekend to the west side of the state, Bellingham area, to pick up another car, which I think you guys are really going to like. Fits back into a little bit more of our theme, but we've got to get this the super high output V8 Taurus off the trailer here, and without getting this truck stuck in the mud now, and I'm sure chaos will ensue. All right, probably can't see it, but we actually made it to position. Probably not going to see a thing here because it's pretty dark. Much easier to get off the trailer with a tire that actually has air in it. Aired them up when we put them on, but apparently this one don't hold air. You'd think you could get more out of a rotten tire, but... All right, and she's off. So, as soon as we get some daylight, now that it's off the trailer and we can open the doors, we will get out here and do a walk around on this thing, kind of see what we got more interior wise, what they've done to the steering column. I know they've punched the ignition out, thinking they could drive it around with a screwdriver, but it has a passive anti-theft system, so a screwdriver does not have a chip in it that will allow the computer to let the ignition work. So we'll be dealing with that kind of stuff, but again, as soon as we get some daylight, and we'll get to another little bit closer look at this SHO. All right, so here she is off the trailer, and of course, in the meantime, we got another Arctic blast of snow. So here's our 98 Ford Taurus SHO. See those cool V8 badges right there? It's funny how many people these days say, "Hey, they put a V8 in the Taurus?" Well, yes, they did. It's not a huge V8. It's only 3.4 liters. We'll take a look at that in a second. But overall, I mean, the car is in not that bad a shape. I mean, it's black. The body's pretty good. Got one little dent in the door right there. Still has its chrome 5-spoke SHO wheels. Tires are completely rotten. We can probably get that probably get that dent popped out right there. One of those paintless dent guys could probably take care of that. I could probably take care of that, but if I took care of that, I'd probably make it worse. A little bit of back of the car is pretty good. The only really real damage is the plastic bumper cover right here. Has a tear in it right there. See, let's get that snow off of there. You can probably see it a little bit better. Oh yeah, clear as mud. You see that's cracked right there. Kind of hard to tell with all this wetness and snow and ice on it, but that's about really the only body damage on the car. There's the you can see that doesn't contrast very well. These cars were kind of, other than the chrome wheels, were kind of blacked out. So the SHO with the Taurus written on the H there. Cool flat exhaust tips. You can see the 96 to 99 Ford was really into the what they call the ovoid styling. See the rear windows oval. You'll see a lot more. The back of the car is kind of rounded. Taillights are oval. Looking inside, I did vacuum this back part out a little bit, but rear seat's in really nice shape. Carpet's probably going to need some work. We'll probably have to pull these seats out and see if, a friend with a carpet extractor, see if we can clean these up. But hopefully this is a car that my youngest son, who will start driving in January. He's already passed his test, but he just has to wait till he turns 16 in January to be able to actually get his license. Probably throw some snow tires on this maybe and let him start learning how to drive in the snow. Taking a look on the inside, this is where we've got the problems. The ignition switch on this has a lot of issues. Somebody cut this wiring harness. I'm not sure what this goes to. We'll have to, as you can see, I have not vacuumed out the front yet because I couldn't get the door open. This is about the only problem with the seat. One little tear in the bolster right there, but the rest of it's actually pretty good. You see the ovoid styling continue with the radio controls, the cassette player still, but it does have the factory like 5 or 6 disc changer. I think it's a 5 disc in the trunk. We'll see if it still works or if we have the cartridge for it. I don't have any way to get into the trunk. The trunk button here is electronic and there's no battery in it. I have battery cables ordered for the car. You'll see why in just a moment. Again, the ovoid styling continues through the dash. This delamination, common problem. So let's see if we can... I don't know if I'll be able to get the hood open, but we'll give it a shot. I like nice touch on the Monster Energy painting on the hood, and of course that came for free. That was custom. So let me work on getting this hood open for a minute. I'll be right back with you. We'll get you under the hood and we'll show you why I think these cars are pretty cool. So I know some people ask, why the Tauruses? Why do you got so many videos about Tauruses? And you're supposed to be doing Galaxies, like this one. Why the Tauruses? Well, you see, Tauruses are actually a pretty cool piece of Ford history. When the Ford pretty much bet the farm on the Taurus in the 1980s. And it was a make it or break it car, kind of like the K car was for Chrysler. Ford was not in a great position in the mid 80s, as many of the domestic auto manufacturers were not. And the Taurus was the car that Ford sought to kind of revitalize the car industry. They sunk a ton of money into it, and, well, the rest is history because the car was a huge success. They couldn't keep up with demand and production. But back in the day, in the 60s, the Galaxies, like this one, were the main, it's a four-door sedan, main people movers. Starting in the late 80s, in the early 90s, and through the 90s and the 2000s, the Ford Taurus was the most common people mover. And Mustangs are cool, we love them, and I know the Mustang was a huge sales success when launched, but in 1965, Ford sold twice as many Galaxies as it did Mustangs. So the Galaxy still made up the mainstream sales, as the Taurus did make up the mainstream sales in its generation. I mean, the Galaxy, up until the introduction of the Fairlane in like the 66 to 67 era of NASCAR, the Taurus replaced the Thunderbird. After the Thunderbird was discontinued in 1997, the Taurus became the NASCAR showpiece. Of course, it was the body was kind of resembled a two-door Taurus, which was never made, but the Taurus carried the mantle for NASCAR until the introduction of the Fusion in 2006. So Tauruses are just cool, and that's why we like them. And now they're kind of coming back into. There are some shows that are collectible, but these cars just represent a kind of a unique period in Ford's history, and I think they deserve. Now, I will admit the Galaxies will always have more character in that. There's just 60s era's cars were just a different breed of their own, but I think the Taurus deserves its place in history, and in here we aim to preserve that. All right, so here we're in, and here's one of the things that really makes these cool. Dual overhead cam, 32 valve V8, 3.4 liters. These were a Cosworth block with aluminum Yamaha cylinder heads on them. Just really, really a work of art. By today's standards, they don't make huge power. I think they were rated at like 230 horsepower. But these things would definitely give a Mustang GT a run for their money back in the day. They weren't very heavily marketed by Ford. Again, that's probably why maybe you just don't see them talked about that much anymore. There were some issues with these engines. The cam gears were pressed on to the cams, and one common issue is for those cam gears to basically come loose, and these are interference engines, so the cam gear would come loose and basically destroy the engine. So the fix from Ford was to actually Loctite these, but what most people will do to fix them correctly is to have the cam gears welded. Actually have them welded to the cams, which completely eliminates that possibility. Then these are pretty reliable engines at that point. You can see the custom battery cables. Those are a really nice touch. I have cables ordered for the car. That's what's preventing me from going any further on it right now. I think the cables are supposed to be here in a week or two, and getting them installed and stuff is going to depend just on what's going on with the weather. Like I say, the snow is melting right now as we speak. So there's a good look at the 32 valve V8 in this thing. We took a chance. We didn't pay a lot for this car. We took a chance on it because we couldn't hear it run. We're hoping that it does, but as soon as we attempt to fix this thing, I already got, what actually happened on this car is this car was, the owners lost the keys. So they decided what they would do is just punch the ignition out so they could actually just start it with a screwdriver and drive it. Well, these cars have a passive anti-theft system, and basically the ignition is interlocked without the is locked without the chip responder. This looks like it's the module right here for that. Very well possibly be the module for it. Not sure, but I think they were trying to basically they were trying to bypass the passive anti-theft system. The car's not stolen or anything. They just lost the keys and weren't aware of the PAT system, so they didn't. They made all kinds of attempts to get it running, which proved futile, of course. So we already have the I already have the keys and a new ignition switch, which is still available from Ford. I got the Straytech keys, which are actually the Ford keys with the chip. I'm going to have the locksmith cut the keys and fit them to the ignition switch, and then we will kind of put this back together, and then we will be able to attempt to start this car. I can program the passive anti-theft system. I'll show you how I do that right here when we get to that point. Haven't looked in the glove box yet to play what's in the glove box. We do have airbag warning sticker still in the car, and the old key code, the door key code, is still in there as well. That's pretty cool. Got a free hook. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, and then here we've got the looks like the ashtray, which is taken out. They probably removed that, trying to get into where that anti-theft module is located down here in the dash down here. So they probably had that removed, trying to get into there. So we'll see what it takes to put this thing back together. And again, customer said, or the customer, the owner said that they threw the owner's manual, the book, in here, but as you can see, slight problem. F-Series 1993. So I think he was confused because they actually listed this as a 1993 Taurus SHO as well on their website or on Marketplace. So again, slightly confused. Not the right owner's manual. If anybody's looking for an owner's manual for a 1993 F-Series truck, I have one right here. Hit me up. So again, a little mold in the carpet there. We're gonna have to work on that. We can probably get that cleaned up. Headliner, decent shape. The motor for the is exposed for the sunroof. We'll work on that. There might be some stuff for this in the trunk. We have no idea because I can't get the trunk open until I get a battery in it. I have no keys and I have no power. So anyway, there you have it. 1998 Taurus SHO. Again, next steps: ignition, battery cables, battery. We're going to attempt to get electrical power to this thing and get it fired. Stay tuned and you will see that video right here when it is done. Until then, thank you for watching. Forget to like and subscribe so you can get some updates on these cars. We got another exciting rescue coming right after this one. Definitely stay tuned for that. Guys, all have a blessed day and we'll see you next time. Thank you.